Good evening, folks. Thank you for clicking on to this special US winter forecast special video for this evening. I'm sure many of you now have read the forecast, and it's out. The ideas that I've got for the upcoming winter for across the United States has now been released. And overall, when you take into consideration multiple factors that I believe will play into this winter, I believe that some 75% of the United States will be colder than normal, with a section of that 75% considerably below normal in terms of temperature, and considerably above normal in terms of snowfall. So where does the ideas lie then? We've got a developing La Nina, and that's of course a cooling of the equatorial Pacific Ocean, and that tends to bring colder weather normally to the Pacific Northwest as well as the central states of the United States. But what's interesting, folks, is we've got other factors at play that may enhance this cooling. We continue to see a fairly low solar cycle, and history tells us that the low solar cycles, and ones that are comparable to the one we're currently in, dates back to the early 1900s, and that indeed correlates to quite well with the Little Ice Age, and a considerably cold period on Earth. And unfortunately, folks, there's that at play, which I do believe can enhance the cold and create colder conditions in a much greater scale and a larger scale across the northern hemisphere. However, as well as that, we've also got an increase in volcanic activity, and over the course of the early spring, we've seen enhanced volcanic activity, particularly across Iceland, and that released large amounts of various materials into the atmosphere, and that also can hint at stronger blocking across the northern hemisphere. And what that means is we have a persistency within the blocking areas of high pressure that develop particularly across the winter time, and we've seen that over recent years, and that could be a telltale sign as to why we've seen abnormally negative North Atlantic oscillations, as well as Arctic oscillations. And a negative Arctic oscillation tends to release more Arctic air from the North Pole southwards, so it takes the colder and the coldest air basically across the world and releases it southwards into the troughs that are developing, set up across areas of the northern hemisphere further south. And we've seen that last year with the eastern United States, as well as here in the UK as well. We've seen persistent cold, intense cold, and I believe that the activity that was seen earlier in the spring there and early summer may play a role in having the same impacts again this winter ahead for the UK, and as well as the eastern and central portion of the United States. But we've got a La Nina in place, and that could suggest a more widespread pool of cold air this winter, and I'm quite concerned that we will see a very severe winter, particularly across the central, north central plains down into the Ohio Valley, and we will see this area above normal in terms of snowfall. And I've got a selection of cities there where the percentage above normal I have across the southern United States. I believe that's where we're going to see the kind of warmer winter, from anywhere from central and southern California eastwards across the southern plains and into the southeast, including Florida. However, even saying that, I do also believe that we're going to see cold shots. These severe Arctic cold waves will impact areas that will overall be warmer than normal, and I'm quite concerned, folks, that this winter will be tough from Seattle all the way across to New York City, down in Philadelphia in particular. I think we're going to see above normal snowfall across the majority of the northeast, and well above normal snowfall for the Midwest, lower Midwest, up into the Ohio Valley in particular. So I believe a widespread region of 1 to 3 below normal from the Pacific Northwest interior all the way across to perhaps the Mid-Atlantic region, the northern half of the Mid-Atlantic region, so kind of Philadelphia, Atlantic City. And I'm concerned that there will be a very sharp cutoff in the snowfall between, say, Philadelphia and Greater Washington, D.C. as well. So it could be a tough call, because you might find that line goes further south, or it might even go further north up towards perhaps Trenton, New Jersey, or the New York City area. We might see less snowfall than normal. It's a hard one to call at this time, but I do believe that we're going to see a very cold winter across the northern tier, and as far south as perhaps kind of Salt Lake City and Denver, we're going to be seeing below normal temperatures. And I'm talking, folks, the overall period from December 1st through February 28th. I do believe that I'm talking about the long-term pattern. We're going to be seeing cold waves, folks. We might even see the odd month or two. I'm most concerned about a period between mid-December and mid-January where we might see severe cold, very, very cold weather. And I do even believe that perhaps some of the northeast I-95 corridor, for example, might take a run into 0 degrees this winter, and days where it might struggle to get out of the mid-teens. So we've got a very severe winter, I believe, ahead. I've already told you the reasons why I think this winter could be severe, and we're just going to have to wait and see. I have another winter forecast for the United States coming up later on this year, and it will basically finalise the ideas from this forecast. There might be a few tweaks here and there, but my overall ideas are in place, and you can read them now at your leisure. And I hope you've enjoyed reading the forecast, and please feel free to provide feedback and let me know what you think of the forecast. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.